Hey, what's good? Y'all know what it is. It's me, your boy Trey. This is First Formation Morning Sports Talk. So come on, let's fall in. Come in, check us out because we got a special show for y'all today. If you're as you start to come in, hey, it got my man Coach Paul Parker. If y'all don't know, y'all about to know all about Coach Parker. Coach Parker, what's good with you this morning?
Man, can't call it. You know how it is. Another day at Norm. It's hump day. You know how they go at Norm, brother.
Oh yeah, I ain't did that in about 6 years, man. You know what? I can live vicariously through you. And see, as I was looking at, in uniform in your office, I didn't know about that. Well, you know what? I did because I used to have a office down in the basement. So yeah, I could get with that. So what's been good with you, man? What you been up to lately?
Man, working hard. That's about it. You know, we just finished up the high school basketball season. I'm coaching at a high school now.
Okay.
So we just finished up that season. Now we're getting ready for this national tournament and the NBA playoffs.
Okay. That's what's up. Of course, if y'all ain't recognize, y'all see the patch on his left pocket. If y'all don't know what it is, Coach, let them know what that illustrious patch means.
That's the United States Army Recruiting Command.
Uh
United States
huh.
Army Recruiting Command. I'm a guidance counselor at the MEPS. So, you know, the recruiters find them. And, you know, everyone been through MEPS if you've been through the military before. That's where you go do all your aptitude tests and your physical and sign your initial contract.
Okay. So, Coach, I got a crew that you came through, bring through. I don't want to hold them too long in the backstage so they get a little lethargic or anything like that. So we're gonna go ahead and bring them out so that way you can go ahead and introduce them. So we can get the show on, get to talking, and let the people know about the Fort Campbell Screaming Eagles basketball. So without further ado, of course, we got Mr. Clark. So, Coach, introduce everybody.
Hey, let's see who we got. So we got Andrew Clark. You know, he's stationed at Fort Campbell, plays on the Streaming Eagles basketball team. Small forward, power forward, so he can play anywhere from the 3 to the 5.
Hmm.
Very high character, very high character. You know, very high character young man, and he can give you a bucket or two.
Or two. Okay.
And got Jaquan Wooden out there, if I'm not mistaken, from North Carolina, another member of the Streaming Eagles basketball team. Been a great part of our success the past 3 years. Quan's also was a JUCO All American prior to joining the military.
Okay.
He does a lot for this basketball team. He can play anywhere from the 3 to the 5, but he starts at the 5 forward.
Okay. And lastly, I heard this individual is a walking bucket. I don't know where Drew was at, but you was calling him out, saying, "Hey, she'll pull up like Candyman, give you buckets, and then pull off like she was never there." Who is this? I'm talking about, Coach Parker.
1 on 1, she's not ducking anybody. That's Donita Adams.
Okay.
She hails from the East Coast, from Maryland. You know, that's the she played. I'll let her talk more about her story. Just to give you a quick breakdown. You know, she played all Army, all Armed Forces, Team USA, and she's also a coach, a very great coach at the high school, middle school, travel ball. Does a lot of great work up in the DC area.
Okay. So, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing?
Grand
Good.
Rising, doing good.
Okay. So, of course, as Coach Parker has introduced y'all, y'all go ahead and talk a little about yourself. Wooten, go ahead. Tell us about yourself, Mr. All American.
Um, I'm 25. I'm from Kinston, North Carolina.
Okay, NC.
Um, and I attended Richard Bland College for 2 years, where I was a JUCO All-American. I set the school record for most points in a game. I had 42.17 rebounds. Last year was my first year actually playing a part of the Fort Campbell basketball team. I think I made a name for myself and let people know that Fort Campbell is still around and not going anywhere anytime soon. And this year, we've had like our ups and downs, but we're still here and fighting.
Okay. What are you doing in the military, Mr. Wooten?
I'm an 88 Mike.
Okay, truck driver. That's
Yes.
all right. Mr. Clark.
Uh, how everybody doing? My name is Andrew Clark. I've been stationed at Fort Campbell for 5 years. Um, yeah, I'll just be moving. I played high school in Atlanta. Started out college, didn't work out though, so I didn't finish out of college. Joined the army. Um, I've been deployed for the last 9 months, so this
Hmm.
is like my first tournament back where everybody will actually see me again, and I'll see everybody else again. Um, yes, I'm just looking forward to coming back playing.
All right, 9 months, so that means you still pounding that pavement. What do you do in the army?
I'm a food inspector. I'm a 68 Romeo.
Okay. I thought you was about to say something else. When I left, I was in 92 golf, so I know y'all very well.
Nah, I'm not a cook.
Well, no, yeah. Well, I know you've been cleaning kitchens. You those ones that come in the back door at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sitting up and telling everybody, "Hey, put that in solution."
Yeah, that's me.
All right, and Miss Adams, last but not least.
Hey, beautiful people. Miss Adams here. I'm actually in the Maryland National Guard. I've been in the Army for about 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And best experience or best decision I made in my life. I wish I honestly would have came in sooner than that because I came in later in my years. I didn't come right out of high school. I coach high school. I also do AAU with little kids, boys and girls. I coach college. And, right now I'm still playing. I actually came out of retirement. I actually played in a tournament down in Georgia. I was down in South Carolina for SLC, graduated. That's finally over. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
So I was down there playing in Georgia. We did really well with only 5 players. We made it to the Final Four. So, when coach is saying I can play, I surprised myself being later in my years to still be able to compete with women that are 10 years younger than me. So I thank God for that. But shout out to Glenville State. That is my alma mater. They end up winning the Division II national championship. So shout out to them. Shout out to Kimmy. She did really, really well on that. So I want to make sure we shine light on women's sports. And to South Carolina won. So anywhere I go, I always like to shout out women's sports just so we can get the same recognition as men.
Okay, that's what's up. I can rock with you on that. I'm big on equality. I did a lot of course, my time in the military. I was like anything equality, EO, and all that type of stuff. And that's been one of the staples in which I think women give as much needs as much recognition as the men. So I could definitely rock with that. So of course, like I said, this is for the most part the sports show is just a bunch of veterans or active duty, how are you saying, all forces that's basically talking. So what teams are you guys repping? I'm from Compton, California. So being from Compton, of course, I hold everything LA quarter, so to speak, even though I'm not from LA. I'm sure that I make sure I'm from Compton, not LA. Of course, what I'm saying, Lakers, Dodgers, Kings, it starts with the Rams and the Chargers. I'm a San Francisco 49er fan. So what are y'all repping? Who y'all repping? I want to see who is repping someone outside of their state, and then so we could have a talk about that.
Look,
Atlanta, Georgia team.
Okay.
Now.
All right.
Yeah. Give a shout out to Miami Heat. I'm a Miami Heat fan. Been there for a long time. So them, but I mainly deal with players, but definitely Miami Heat is my team. If we had to talk about that. And then I'm gonna go way back with y'all for the women, Houston Comets. They not around right now, but anybody who knows basketball knows that they won the first four championships for women. So shout out to Houston Comets.
So what we're not gonna do is omit they got the first 4, but we're not gonna do is omit the Tina Thompson later, Lisa Leslie. Shit, we not. You know what? You know what I'm saying. I stand corrected. Go ahead, Javon. Who you repping, man? I'll get back to Miss Adams. I'm gonna need a little bit.
I'm like all over the place when it comes to
Oh my God, here we go. I knew we had to have one. Okay, go ahead.
Basketball wise, I don't have a favorite team. I just have a favorite player.
Okay.
So,
who's your favorite player?
My favorite player got swept. So
happens to the best of us.
I'm a Kevin Durant fan. Okay. So wherever he goes, I go. I'm a New England Patriots fan.
What?
Yeah, Patriots fan.
Nah, you tripping, bro. You coming off the bench. You coming off the bench Friday morning, though.
I'm a Yankees fan too.
Oh my goodness.
And then for college basketball, a Duke fan. And college football, I don't really tune in college football really. I just watch it.
So
I knew it. Like I said, I knew it was one. Okay, Coach Parker, go ahead. Let me hear it.
Look, so I'm from Louisiana, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I moved to Dallas, so I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. Nah, but it's a story behind it, right? So I used to be I'm a big time Deion Sanders fan, right? So wherever team Dion played when I was younger, I used to be like Falcons, 49. But then when he got to the Cowboys, I was like, damn, it's Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, then Michael Irvin personality. So I became like a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan.
That sounds
I
like
don't
a
have no. I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan since I was about 12, 11, 12 years old, rocking with them. And I'm talking through the Quincy Carter days. If you really a Cowboys, Quincy Carter, Anthony Wright, yeah, through some rough days, some rough times.
So
Uh,
what we're not going to do is act like Quincy Carter might not have been a better quarterback than Tony Romo.
he probably was more physically gifted than Tony Romo. He probably was a better athlete of the two. And of course, I was a diehard Chicago Bulls fan growing up. And then when Jordan retired, and then I joined the military, I realized those are grown men just like I am. So I don't have a favorite basketball team. I'm just a fan of basketball and good basketball. And because I coach so many different teams, I really don't watch a lot of basketball at home until the NBA playoffs. Like
Okay.
during the year, I rarely watch. Like during the NBA season, the regular season, I rarely watch a game.
Okay.
76ers, I follow them a lot now because Tyrese Maxey um, from the Philadelphia 76ers. So I definitely follow them a lot. We graduated from the same high school. I wasn't nowhere even close to the player he was. Um, but I went to almost like pretty much probably 80% of their games, of course, when I was stationed in Dallas.
Okay. So let's while we're here, before we get into your stories, really, let's take a second to talk about this NBA. Of course, what's hot in the NBA right now? What's not hot? What's the hottest thing that's going on outside of the games? Is this conversation in reference to Ben Simmons? Of course,
don't get
yesterday,
started.
as reported by Shams Sharina, he basically came out and stated or said that Ben Simmons basically said that he has still a mental issues when it comes to basketball, stemming from his play in Philadelphia, in which assumingly is triggering the back issues. We're all service members. I know, like I said, I'm retired. Uh, a bit of PTSD. So we know, saying there's certain things. I haven't had a trigger or anything, or I don't have anything that particularly triggers me. But what do y'all think when you hear this conversation in reference to the mental aspect of the game? Of course, when I used to coach Lake Charles Imperials, as that's how I know Paul, through the semi-pro arena. I always used to tell the players, "Hey, you putting the ball in the hole ain't the problem. It's a mental thing, and you got to have that mental fortitude." What do y'all think about that in this situation in Brooklyn?
I'm gonna go last because I'm a Brooklyn fan right now, so I'm gonna wait.
I'll go first. Let's talk on the aspect of being an athlete and the demand from that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's at an elite level,
Mm-hmm.
which takes a lot of like a toll on his mental, his physical, his spiritual, everything. Um, but it takes a certain person and a certain quality of an individual to make you, want to play the sport. So ultimately, with um, there might be some things.
Is it me?
Nah, yeah, it's probably cycling on her. Go ahead, someone else chime in when she comes back. We get her back in. We get her back.
I'll say something real quick about it. Um, Basketball is a very demanding sport, and it does
Mm-hmm.
require a lot. It's also a very demanding sport, as she said before, mentally, because you want every shot to go in. You
Mm-hmm.
want to be the best. And I think that there's a stigma that is on Ben Simmons where, he's soft and he has all this potential in the world to do all these great things. He
Mm-hmm.
has all the tools for it, but it seems that, maybe he's just not in love with the sport as some people who wish they had like a body type like that. Like I done heard stories like that, and I done heard things like that all the time growing up. Like, oh, if I had your body, or if I had the tools you had as a player and stuff like that. So I think they could be a little demanding on them. I mean, it gets to a point though where you gotta produce, or you just gonna become and fall in with everybody else. So I think that he is under a lot of pressure, and that it can be overwhelming. But I don't know. It's all about figuring out a way to win.
Mm, okay, Coach Paul.
So I'm gonna try not to go off on a soapbox here, right?
Okay.
Um, so mental health. When you look at it bothers me sometimes because a lot of people, oh, he's a millionaire. He should just suck it up and play. Oh, he okay, but they don't understand. Well, I'm not gonna say they don't understand. They're probably naive to it. We'll say that they're probably naive to the fact that mental stress can lead to physical ailments without you even hurting yourself. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like like I believe in financial cancer. Financial cancer is like the number one cause for heart attacks and cardiovascular issues, heart disease. It's the number one cause for heart disease in America. Most people don't know that. Financial cancer, stressing over your finance. So same thing with mental. He can be experiencing physical ailments because he's mentally in a rough spot right now. And I hope it never gets to this point. I don't want anything to happen to him. And then people come on like, oh wow, he was really going through something.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes they just look at him because he's a millionaire. They hold him to a different standard. And I know at the end of the day, he's a human. He's a person. Now, with saying that, he got to take a Tiger Woods approach and do some self accountability and get help for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been no, I mean, maybe I haven't saw, but
I don't know why I can't hear him.
there have been no stories about him actually searching out and getting help. We've seen him at the games. So
Uh-huh.
instead of being at the games, I would honestly ask you to seek help if you really are going through something mentally. Seek help.
Okay. Nadia, you back? Can you hear us? Go ahead, Jaquan. Being your team, what do you pull from it, or what's your take on this?
All right, so I think all this stuff started with him with the whole Philly thing when they like lost to the Hawks, and it was the Hawks, right? I'm pretty sure it was the Hawks. When he
Yes,
like passed
yeah.
up, yeah, when he like passed up that like layup because like they're like he didn't want to get fouled, and I think that's where it all started. But I know how coach is like he don't think that he like seek help, but there's been reports where he went and talked to like therapists about him shooting the ball and stuff like that. And I personally feel like the whole back thing, like I understand he's saying like his like back hurts, but as a fan of the team, I feel like we want to know how he hurt his back if he hasn't played since like the end of the season. But then we also understand like if he's going through something, then like we get it. But like I feel like there's like how coach said like he needs to if he's really like going through something, he needs to like seek help or something like that. But like it seems like he's not trying to progress to get to where he wants to be. It's kind of like he's just kind of sitting there and waiting to see how the like settlement with the Philly Philadelphia 76 like play out and
Mm-hmm.
what's gonna
Okay.
happen there because they're saying that he's practicing and he's trying. Which if that's the case, then that's good. But like I feel like if he's not like fully capable or like ready to play, then I don't think they should like make him play if he's not ready to play because then it's not gonna do nothing but like hurt himself even more. But if he's not trying, then it's like how do we get him to the point to where he wants to seek help or he wants to get out there to like play? Because there's NBA legends as always like when it comes to like newer guys are like this person don't want to play. They don't have no competitive like nature in them. But then like
Mm-hmm.
as coach said, if something was to happen to that player, like okay, well they were really going through something. But
So, do y'all think in the aspect of all grand schemes at all? Do you think he's able to come back? Do you think it's possible for him to bounce back,
yes,
overcome that? Okay.
yeah, I definitely think he can get back. I think, but it's gonna take the right support system. It's gonna take the right people around him to encourage him to want to actually do it. If he actually want to like do it now, because I feel like the whole Philly thing's kind of put a bad taste in his mouth of like teammates and basketball stuff. The way that whole situation was just handled, and how he was saying he was feeling like nobody had his back, like nobody was there for him. So
Okay, okay. So of course, I'm saying let's get into this recap because I want to get to y'all stories to see what's going on. Uh, so in this aspect, in this case, last night, 3 games, a total of 3 games, a 3 game slate for the in which the NBA had. Of course, in that slate, we had the Jazz against the Mavericks in their game 5, a game 5 for the Atlanta Hawks series, and then lastly game 5 for the Timberwolves and Grizzlies. So of course, one of the most exciting games of this playoffs, the Timberwolves went down to Memphis to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis winning 111-109, 2 point victory, in which most I'm sure thought was going to become a overtime game. At one point, Minnesota was up 13 points going into the second half until basically Memphis reeled off a 10-0 run. Ja 19 points in the fourth quarter, including his game winner, which Anthony Edwards went for a steal. Coach, I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. Went for the steal, gave Ja the opportunity. He said he seen the rim and he went to go get it. Of course, Anthony Edwards for the Timberwolves, 22 points, 1 rebound, no assist, 28 points. Carl Anthony, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 12 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 8 assists for D'Angelo Russell. 10 points for Teron Prince. The Grizzlies, led by Desmond Bain. John Morant's 30 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists, 25 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist from Desmond Bain. Jaren Jackson, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 21 points, which I think was the X factor. 21 points, 15 rebounds for Brandon Clark. So, of course, Coach, like we talking about, it go to you first. The gamble by Edwards. Did you cringe when you see him go? You know, what I'm saying make an attempt, got beat, and then open rim.
I started pacing back and forth after that. Let me tell you why. Because
Okay, okay,
we played Fort Hood, right? And
okay,
we had a similar situation, right, against Fort Hood.
okay,
Almost similar, but instead he ran into the backcourt. We gambled in the backcourt. He runs in the front
Okay,
court, and he saw nothing but rim and dunked for the win at the buzzer. So, yeah, did I cringe? Man, I started having nightmares, right? Everybody's watching this show. They know exactly what I'm talking about. It was trending. It was trending on TikTok, the dunk, the play, and everything. We chased him in the backcourt. He V-cut off that, bounce pass, he dunked. But so and then to me, I would never question an NBA coach, right? Because
okay, okay.
the highs I've coached is semi-pro, minor league, Team USA. But as a player and as a coach, I'm thinking, why is Patrick Beverly not in the game?
Mm.
I don't know if he was injured. Maybe like Quan said, I don't really pay attention. I caught the last the fourth quarter. So like, why is he not in the game? Why is the quote unquote one of the better defenders in the NBA not in the game?
That's a good
Matter of fact,
question.
I'll tell you this. Name the person that was guarding John Morant.
It was
Exactly.
Anthony.
Was it Anthony?
Yeah, he was. Well, was he? Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
was.
it was Anthony.
He was on. Yeah, he had him. Had him in the post, and he went. He gambled. He gambled at the.
They were
He was.
talking before the play happened.
Mm-hmm.
I text my brother and I told my brother this. I don't think LeBron will win another championship because this younger generation of basketball player, whether this old generation like it or not, they don't fear none of the older players in the league. Back in the day when the young players, remember Jordan was in, Kobe was there,
Mm-hmm.
Grant Hill was in. A lot of the older generation that's leaving now, they were in when Jordan was leaving the Wizards. But the thing is, they kind of had that like fear factor, so mentally they couldn't get over those older players. This younger generation, they know they're more skilled, probably faster, more athletic. They just don't care. Like they're fearless. I watched Ja Morant last night. Like these kids are borderline disrespectful in
Yeah.
a
Oh
good
yeah.
way. They don't fear anybody, which is you got to have that in you with this new generation. You have to have that in you.
Okay. So to the players, are you making that gamble? Do you same play? Are you going after? Are you staying on the hip? Or are you making the gamble?
Andrew is.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Andrew's gambling,
What's up,
and then
buddy?
Quan's gonna try to block it, and so it's hit or
I'm
miss
not.
depending on what referee crew we have.
I'm
Okay.
not going that far out there. He's going to shoot that, or meet me like at the rim because I'll take
So
my chances with like him shooting over me than driving to the back. Either way, for me, I feel like it's a lose. You ain't getting a shot out. So
then you making the Dania, can you hear us?
I can hear y'all. You can hear me now.
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. So
I don't make
same
fun of.
que- Same question. You making that gamble? What's the
This is on a shot, right?
yes on the shot on the shot. I don't think anyone's standing there on the dunk, but okay, he
No,
tried it.
it was
He
him.
Yeah,
tried it.
I'm taking the gamble.
Okay.
Gamble.
In that situation,
Yeah, I will. I gotta try. One. I'm really aggressive on the defensive end, and I got a team. So at the end of the day, I'm taking the gamble.
okay. I feel you. I understand. He ain't had no backside help, or the help got there late.
See, I feel like with our teammates can take that gamble because I'm
Yeah,
there, regardless. Like I'm going there. Like if he's going to the rim, I'm going with him. So if they gamble, like I got him
10 times out of 10, we're gambling.
and I
Okay.
Mhm.
got him. So it don't matter.
There's probably one player on the team that's not gonna gamble on our at Fort Campbell. I can guarantee you that. One player is probably not gonna go for the gamble. The other 13 or 14, oh yeah, they're going for that still every time.
No doubt, of course, no doubt, no doubt. Of course. So one of the second game last night. Of course, Utah Jazz facing a deficit, 1 game deficit. Travel down to Dallas to take on the Dallas Mavericks, and of course, Luca and the crew victorious, winning 102-77, a thrashing at the end of the day. The Jazz led by Jordan Clarkson's 20 points. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 17 points, 11 rebounds from Rudy Gobert. And kind of that's where it stopped there. Anyone else? Donovan Mitchell, 9 points, two rebounds, 1 assist, 8 points from Daniel House. It probably shouldn't have even been in the building actually. The Mavericks, Luka Doncic, 33 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists from Jalen Brunson, 13 points from Dorian Finney-Smith, 9 from Bullock, and of course additionally 8 points from Dwight Howell. I asked you guys, is this series basically over?
I personally think this series was over when they let Jalen Brunson drop 41. Like I feel like Utah is a great regular season team, but when it comes to the playoffs, they never really do well in the playoffs.
Mm.
Also, just saying, 9 points from Reggie, who's also from Kinston, North Carolina. Just want to throw that out there. But
You from the East Coast, man.
he's from Kinston.
Like I said, me personally, I thought it was going to be a situation when Luca was out, and then of course they showed that we don't need Luca. Actually, one of the things when Luca came back was a conversation of because Luca slows the game down. Luca knows it's his team. He knows, you know, what I'm saying it's Luca and the rest of them, kind of like Eminem and D12, Luca and the Mavericks. So, but I mean, obviously they're showing that they can get it how they live anyway, in any way, form, or fashion. So, but I had them winning the series anyway, so I believe it's over as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
and you got to look at some of the ones that are shining, like Luca and Tatum. They were by Kobe Bryant. I feel like anybody that fell underneath of his wing and has that Mamba mentality is going to carry their team. So I already knew Dallas was going to have it, just from his worth ethic alone. And he already said that he was going to be, if the best, one of the best to play the game. So with that stamp of validation, that's already know. I in the bag.
all right, matter of fact, my fault. That was Luke. I was looking at the wrong game. That's from day from yesterday. But last night we did have the Atlanta Hawks faced off against the Miami Heat. You know what? We're gonna save that. So we can get into the mind of Adams in a second. So we're gonna save that. We're gonna go with the Phoenix Suns faced off against the New Orleans Pelicans. Of course, I believe actually, in all honesty, I believe that the Pelicans are going to win this series. I want them to actually. That's a Laker fan. I want them to win. But in any case, New Orleans 97, Phoenix 112. Of course, New Orleans led by 22 points from Brandon Ingram, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 21 points from CJ McCollum, 12 from Jose Alvarado, who was actually becoming a problem. Jonas Valanciunas, 17 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists. Jackson Hayes, 8 points, 3 rebounds. The Suns counted off 31 points from Mikal Bridges, who basically was their go-to. I know there was about 72 points out of the 112 that was scored between Mikal
Yeah.
Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, as well as Chris Paul. So they did all the heavy lifting. Cameron Payne contributed 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists from Chris Paul, 19 points from DeAndre Ayton. I ask y'all the same question. Does New Orleans have a chance, or is this series potentially over now that Phoenix has got back in the lead?
They have a chance of Bi. Bi has to go for 35 to 40 points these next two games.
Goodness.
No, I'm being honest, because someone has to. He has to be that guy. You see what happens when he scores 22 points. To me, I think he's way better than 22 points. I think he has to be that alpha male. Look what Tatum and there. He's unapologetic down there in Boston. He's going for 30 a game this series, and I think Brandon Ingram has to. He's more than capable of going for 30 plus. More than capable.
We just gonna omit CJ?
He has to go for 30. He has to. He has to. I think he's a mismatch nightmare on the offensive end.
True that. Yeah.
And his length on the defensive end, he can lock down on the defensive end. But they're done if he doesn't. If he doesn't get them 30 plus a game, because we know what CJ's gonna do. He's gonna get his.
Yeah.
Bi got to give him a little bit more.
Okay. Everyone in agreement?
I'm gonna go last.
I think.
He knows Bi personally, so of course he go last.
I think that New Orleans is like that team in the NCAA during March Madness. That it's like that team that plays with a chip on their shoulder because they know they're not necessarily, compared to everybody else. Like they don't have the 5 stars.
They are who Phoenix was during the bubble.
Right. So now they're coming out, and it's like they surprising people. But I think that if you look at their team individually, like you break them down, that first of all, that CJ McCollum trade during the middle of the season was huge. That brought them up. That took them to another level. So while they record shows one thing, this team coming into the playoff, and then also it's very important as a team that you reach your peak at a good time, because you have some teams that reach their peak around All-Star break, and then after All-Star break they start to fall off, and then you got teams that reach their peak, at the playoffs. So and then they hitting you with new stuff that you haven't seen before. People who, were more quiet during the regular season, they're making more noise and bringing their team up to the forefront, and it's made a big difference. So now they're playing this number 1 seed team, going at them head to head each night, and it's catching everybody with a shot because this is not what they expected.
Okay.
It's definitely not what people expected, but what I would say is Chris Paul. All right. And a lot of other veterans that are on that team that are already battle tested. They have already seen, people coming at them because they're number 1 spot. And we already know when you have a target on your back, the things that you do, prepare mentally and all of that. But I don't think that the Pelicans have enough to beat them. However, again, bring everything you have to the Phoenix team and try to battle with them today when you have a point guard like Chris Paul. And hopefully praying because he's known for that. But them two, the Phoenix are playing better since last in the finals. So they are understand what they're signing. They're going to move the ball well. Even with Booker being out right now, I feel like they better the ball, finding the open person. I know with him, he takes a lot of shots, sometimes unnecessary shots. And it kind of stops the flow of the team. But I think going in, I think Phoenix will be fine going in this series. Nice battle going back and forth, but
okay. Coach.
It's me?
Yes.
So I got it going game 7. I got the Pelicans winning. 1, because my man Bi is a dog, so not going home in the first round. 2, I feel like the Pelicans are really, really scrappy. Like they have a lot of guys that, as Andrew said, have a chip on their shoulder. Like they have nothing to lose. They weren't even supposed to make the playoffs from how their season started. That CJ trade was like a huge trade for them. And I feel like when CJ and Brandon are like in their zone, like last night was their first game, I think, where Brandon didn't drop 30 plus. I think the first game was CJ didn't drop 25 plus. So like I feel like with them having like what they would say was a bad game, I think they'll bounce back these next games. And their guards are like really, really tough on like defense. But I feel like the Suns are loaded. Like they play really, really well team ball. So it's like even without Devin Booker,
Bless you.
they're a
Thank
problem. Like they're a problem. Like with the Grizzlies without Ja is still a problem because they play team basketball. There's so many teams that are in the playoffs right now who are like really good because they have like a lot of team basketball play. Like the Warriors are crazy because they have 3 guys who can go for 20 any night at any point in time. So I feel like it'll go to 7, but I think the Pelicans like pull it out.
Okay, it goes back to what Coach was just saying earlier. Like now, this younger version of the NBA is there's no fear. Like they all
Yeah.
believe that they're able to get the dubs, and they all have that belief factor. So now, of course, that's a particular problem. So, Coach, being the only Louisiana native here with the Pelicans, do you believe in the Pelicans, or is it? Do you think Phoenix is still
I'm a
Phoenix's ball?
I'm a Chris Paul fan. I'm not a
Okay,
fan.
okay,
Like
okay.
I like his game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
say that.
yeah.
I like Chris Paul's game. He's a I'm big on point guard. He's a floor general. He's the coach on. He's the epitome of being a coach on the floor. You rarely have to see his coach calling the play. He know what sets to get the team in. He know like one game he took over in the fourth quarter, so he feels the game out very well. No, they're done. 3-2.
Hmm.
No, they're done. Chris Paul is done. There's a reason why Booker is sitting out.
Okay.
Trust me. There's a reason why he's sitting out because they know they're going to win this series without him. Let him rest.
I don't know about that one.
Okay, Quan.
Yeah.
I don't want to bet because we're in the military. But tell
And
you
Cal
what, if
and Cal blow out.
tell you what,
But
if
I will say Chris Paul
hold
is
on,
also
Quan.
I will say
I'm going on live with this, Quan. I'm gonna stay live. We got a lot of people watching. Just in case I come back and be like, Coach, you remember? And I'll be like, no. So we're live. If New Orleans win, I got you dinner twice in San Antonio.
I want a car. But
I'm not buying no car, but you can get dinner twice in San Antonio this
I will
weekend.
say though,
Twice.
Chris Paul also North Carolina native. Just throwing that out there.
So
North
as
Carolina
we
Hooper.
said, as Coach said, if you go back to the show on the 36 minute 43 seconds, Coach stated that if if Pelicans win, that he's buying 2 meals for the Wooten down in San Antonio. So it's on the record. So, of course, last game of the night last night, the Atlanta Hawks tried to stave off their gentleman sweep in the as they're in their series versus the Miami Heat. Of course, at least one of us on this panel today didn't believe that was able to happen, as the Heat were able to get the dub 97-94. DeAndre Hunter went off for 35 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists. Trae Young, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 12 points for Kevin Huerter, 12 points for Danilo Gallinari. Of course, it wasn't enough. Bam, 20 points. Victor Oladipo, 23 points to lead the squad. 16 points from Tyler Hero, 15 points from Matt Struss. PJ Tucker contributed 4 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. 10 points, 4 rebounds from Kelly Martin. And that's all she wrote. Miami gets the W. Now they sit back and wait. What's the ceiling for the Miami Heat?
I'm gonna sum this up.
Okay.
This is how I feel. I'm gonna sum this up. Somebody said this at one point in that series. They showed a possession. Trae Young started off with PJ Tucker guarding him,
Mm, I
and then
remember
they
that.
did a pick and roll. Now Bam is guarding him. He comes off another string, and now you got Jimmy Buckets guarding him. Someone said that man was in basketball hell the entire series. Hence, he had 11 points. Man, if they can, then Oladipo, man, they're deep. That's surprise.
They are.
And
Yeah, the
I
deep.
think not having Jimmy Butler last night or these past 2 games, well, yeah, it's going to pay dividends for him because now Oladipo gets to find some rhythm on the offensive end of the court. He get his confidence back. He came off that major knee injury, so I think that they still if they play they continue to play defense. The only question I have with them is can they score in the half court when teams kind of pack everything in? Do they have enough scoring? Can Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Buckets lead them? And then having Oladipo, I think that was a huge pickup because he can fill it up. He can fill the stat sheet up.
Miss Adams.
And you was going to coach took it out of my mouth. It was a
Okay.
when Victor Oladipo came back. And I told people that as I was actually in South Carolina, and it was like, "What you think?" I was like, "Miami. As soon as he gets back and he gets healthy and he gets comfortable, he is going to be the game changer of that team. Um, we're known for winning. We have the fans behind us, and it's just one of those things. People were underrated when it comes down to because we start off slow in the season and then we pick it up. So I'm a little biased because I joined the team a long time ago, was a fan, but really kicked off when Wade got there. And that's like we're guard heavy, and we're known for being guard heavy and with scores. So Miami, I knew wouldn't be a problem, especially on the defensive end, guarding Trey Young, which is like their main score on
Hmm.
Atlanta. Uh, so being able to lock him down to kind of get everybody else's score, I knew wouldn't be an issue. So this was a no brainer on that aspect.
Okay, okay, okay. So of course, they move on and stand by and wait. So let's get into y'all's journey and y'all's life in this military basketball. What has that been like? Like where did it all click at? So we'll start with Nina Adams. Where for you, Coach Parker has said a lot about you and talked about you and talked about your journey. So what's your story?
My story, I think my story, I want to say mine rooted at a young age, probably 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I started playing with my older sister. She's 2 years older than me, and it started with guys, black top, different tournaments and leagues. But when I was introduced to it, that physicality came from the boys in my neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
and that just formed a passion for it, love. And one thing my mom was good at was putting me in all sports. Didn't matter what it was, but it allowed me to identify that basketball was my passion, that it was my love, and I just did everything to keep playing. But one thing I do respect that I think all parents should do, is be like, hey, they start seeing kids act up, make sure that you hold them accountable for every action that they have. So I love basketball, but there are some things that I was doing on the court that weren't acceptable. Like as far as having like a little attitude or having cuss words, right? And my mom put me to the side and she was like, if you want to play this sport, or if you want to play the sport ever again, you cannot act like that. You cannot conduct yourself like that. And ever since then, that was my ninth grade year. I switched it up 360. And my mentality changed for the sport about sportsmanship and, being there for your teammates and supporting the other opponents if they fall or something like that. So, basketball, like I said, it's in my blood. And that's the reason that I coach. And so after uh, I graduated from high school, I actually had a knee injury because I
Mm-hmm.
playing on D1. I ended up going D2. Went to Glenville State. Decided to stay all 4 years. Ended up going overseas, playing in Italy for a little bit. Joined the Army, and actually I tried out for LA Sparks. That was a rewarding experience. So I got to compete against some other ladies who were trying to go professional. Made it to the final cut, and joined the Army. And I didn't even know that I could play basketball in the Army. So that was my thing. It's so funny because I joined. I came in as a religious affairs specialist. Well, was a chaplain assistant at the time, and now we're religious affairs specialists. And that was something that I was passionate about because I was big on my relationship with God and making sure how do I infuse that with work. And
Okay.
it's rewarding because it's helping people mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that. So I love helping people. So when I found out that I could play basketball, it was odd. I was just playing in the gym, and one of the girls there played on the All Army team, and she was like, you need to try out." I said, "Okay, all right, just give me the information. Just tell me where I need to go." And at the time, it was Coach. He was at the Capital Classic. I don't know if any of y'all played in that one. That's actually in DC. But the Capital Classic was really big in our era. I went and played there. Coach Bryant was like, "Hey, we need to get this girl on our team like now." And I started there in 2016, and hopefully I can give All Army one more year. If not, I'll be a drill sergeant. So we'll see. But
Two.
uh, we'll see. But yeah, I would compare my like if anything, as an athlete, I would say a combination of Cynthia Cooper
Mm-hmm.
and LeBron James. compared.
No.
A lot of people probably beg to differ, but those are the two people I would combine for me personally.
Coach, I see you shaking your head. What's the mathematics? What do you say is a combination?
Cynthia Cooper and Kobe Bryant. Let me
Mm,
tell you why, right? So
okay.
she's very humble, right? She's never gonna brag. I'm gonna do it for her. That's why I got them on, right? Because I think they're some of the most humble people I've been around, and they're very talented. All three of them on this call, right? So I would say this: when we first got to camp, she's the teammate and the captain that's making sure everyone's where they're supposed to be. Oh, you don't have your food. You missing this. You need water. You need me to go do this for you. Oh, let me pray over you. We listen to gospel music before we getting stretched and warmed up. Man, we get down to Jacksonville. When I'm talking about they went a whole 360, I like, well, who is this player? Like, I was like, oh boy, I guess when it's time to go, it was time to go. Like that Mamba, if Mamba mentality had a list of players, I'm throwing her name in there. I'm not just saying that because she played for her. I got to witness it as a coach. Like she had that mentality. She was locked in, focused. The prayer stuff was still there, but it was locked in. I got a job to do. We're about to get it done by any means necessary.
hmm
Yeah.
Like what hip? I don't mean to put a personal business out there. What injury? Forget that. I'm gonna get something for it. I'm fine. I'll see y'all. I'll be there at game time.
Yeah. Hey,
And
coach,
huh?
expecting to get that hamstring injury. I caught up. My hamstring got pulled the last game before the championship, and coach and them were like, "Hey, let's get her out because we don't need her to get hurt before the championship game." And as soon as they said that, I went in for a layup and my hamstring popped. And that was probably the worst injury I've ever had. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I can still play on it. You know, just being stubborn, I can still play on it. I could barely walk. That night, icing it, doing everything that I could. That morning, I was like, maybe I just go to the hospital and get a shot. Um, Turned around, I played. It was probably one of the difficult games I've ever played in. Just wrapped it up. It just boils down to we want to win, and we got to do whatever it takes to win. So it doesn't matter if I don't score a point, but if I can do what I can for my team, if that means play defense, get rebounds or get a steal, whatever it takes, that's what we're going to do to win. So it's that mentality. I was talking about Ben Simmons earlier, and I didn't get a chance to put my spill on that one. But with Ben, I've done some history on him from being with Louisiana, LSU, his Australia team, Philly, all the way up to now being with Brooklyn. And unfortunately, he doesn't seem like that player that wants to compete or wants to work hard. I think he just relies on his talent a lot. And then when he realizes that his talent can only get him so far, he
hmm
falls back, falls back. So
hmm
I think him, he doesn't have that dog mentality. He doesn't. He's lacking that aspect when it comes down to being one of those elite players and wanting to be the best player on his team. He shines away from that, and unfortunately, is getting him to this predicament that he's at today. Mental illness is very real, so I hope that that's not the case with him. But I've seen it through history that he doesn't want to perform when the light is on him. So unfortunately, I don't think it's a back injury. I think it's just an excuse for him, um, just to not own up to his hype because he can't live up to that right now. Unfortunately.
Okay, I feel you.
Which is why I said I won't know how he hurt his back.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Mr. Clark, what is your story representing the Screaming Eagles, Fort Campbell Screaming Eagles? It's something that you said earlier that I want to touch on a little bit, but I want to hear your story. So, what's the deal with Mr. Andrew Clark?
Uh, I joined when we first started the team back up. Um, Felt like I had something to contribute. Felt like I could play on the team. I've always played on the basketball team. Um, I was a red shirt in college one year, and then, like I said, that kind of went south with new
Mm-hmm.
coaching and everything like that. So I never officially played a collegiate game, but I always knew that I was good enough to play. Like, I always felt like I was very underrated as a player. So, and then the Army provided that to me when, we came up with our team. And, I've been a part of 3 championships. So just trying to keep going out getting buckets.
Okay.
He's a bucket. I would give him that. If he don't do anything else, he is one of the top. He's probably one of the better scorers in military basketball, and that's known around military basketball. Again, Trey, I tell you, I got a very humble group on right now. They're not gonna brag much on themselves, man. But if you can be a fly on the wall on some of the conversations I have with this young man, like I
Uh-huh.
probably am on him harder than I'm on anybody on our team. Like he probably wake up and be like, I will deal with this man again. 24/7, nonstop. He can never do no right in my book. All day, all night, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's because I believe in him. I watch his development over time, and he's constantly getting better. He had the opportunity to go to all Army camp. I think that did a world of good for his game because he got to see what it takes to play at the next level.
Mm.
I always say this: if he really, really took basketball serious, I think he can play at the next level in reference to college, high level overseas. Because he's 6'6" and he's 6'5", 6'6". What you say, Quan, about 6'5"?
I'm
But
6'6".
6'6".
6'6", so he's too fast for any quote unquote military power forward to guard. He's too fast, and he's too strong for any wing player to guard.
Mm-hmm.
So and he can shoot it. He got really good range, man. He's a very humble guy. Come from a very great family structure. It was a pleasure to have him on the team.
Okay, okay. Uh, of course, like you said, in the last of his humble crew, Jaquan Wooten. What is your story before we get into the whole Screaming Eagles aspect?
So I've been playing ball since I was 4 years old. But where I'm from is basketball is kind of all we do in like the Kinston, Goldsboro area, Fayetteville area.
Pass me a burp cloth.
It's like whenever we we're raised to either play basketball or go to school and like find something to, like that you're good at. But most me and my friends play basketball. Like me and like I said, me and Brandon Ingram played together for the longest. Bam, we played together for a while. Dennis Smith, we all played together for like a long time. So like me playing around like those guys, I think helped my game a lot. To where seeing how they worked every day to like get to where they are now, and
Mm-hmm.
I think they helped me also. High school, I was really good in high school. And senior year, I had like Division 1 offers, but I dislocated my left knee the game before senior night, and wound up going junior college, played 2 years there, and then wound up hurting my knee again. So I kind of got home and was like, I don't know what else to do, so I'm gonna join the army. And I joined the army. And when I was in basic, my drill sergeant was kind of like, you can play basketball in the army. I knew nothing about that at all until he told
Mm-hmm.
me. Came into the Fort Campbell, did not know that they had a team here at all. I was at the gym one morning and I was playing and saw like Andrew and Key and Boog and some of the guys there. And I was playing and they was like, do you want to try out? And kind of got started from there with the whole
Mm-hmm.
Fort Campbell thing.
Okay. Okay. So earlier, Andrew basically said something in relation to New Orleans when he's like, their record does not display or even be seen, starts to scratch the surface on who the team is. So, of course, before we got on, I was speaking to Coach Parker, and he basically conveyed some of that. He said it's been a rough year, and so the record isn't the best, but it's not basically it's not saying who we are as a team. So let's touch on that a bit, Coach, and what you were speaking about. So what has been the journey for the Screaming Eagles this year so far as y'all get ready to gear up uh, and go into the Nationals? And I believe, will y'all be playing in Phoenix City
We
for
will.
NBA?
Uh,
Okay,
Hold on,
this the
coach. Hold on. Let me
first.
say it first. Hold on.
go ahead.
Who you talking to?
I'm talking to
Oh,
what's his
yeah.
name,
I
Mr.
was just
Trey.
making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we not New Orleans Pelicans. We, what I'm saying, New Orleans Pelicans. That's a team. They on the uprise and stuff like that. We don't won 3 championships. We not New Orleans, so they know. Yeah, our record it might be a little, not as good. We had folks out doing stuff. Folks are getting higher with ranks, so they got more responsibilities to their job. I
Mm-hmm.
was deployed. It was a lot going on this year, but
Mm-hmm.
we have our full team back together now. we won 3 championships
I'm
for
gonna
the
go
3
next.
previous
I'm gonna go
years.
next.
So it ain't no like, we showing up and we just happy to be here. We playing, you know what I'm saying, because we love the game of basketball, and we just can't believe we made it. So every win is, we just taking it and just like, no, we not none of that. We not no Cinderella team, or this ain't no Disney Channel movie or nothing like that. Like, we coming.
Okay.
With some respect.
Say yeah, that's what you say. I stand corrected. Say it with your chest, then, Drew. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
like
talking about.
Damn.
as Andrew said, like we really haven't had our full team for like none of our turns. Like Andrew was deployed for like 9 months. I've missed 2 or 3 turns because of pre-deployment stuff. Like we had to go to one tournament with 7 players and then still finish in the final 3 or the final 4. Like
Final
they
four.
know with our full team we're a problem. And I'm not saying that they should fear us, but they know who we are and they know how we come. Like we don't back down from nobody at all. We don't care who it is, what time it is, when we're playing, where we're playing. We'll play you outside on the blacktop. Like we don't care. We're
Right.
coming to hoop.
So basically, what y'all sound like y'all telling me is the 5th rank. And then we talking about this. When we think about the Final Four, you got to think it's 16 teams. So at this point, y'all have the 5th rank out of 20 teams. Correction, 19, because the Marines aren't going to be there. As I heard, the Marines is one of the top teams. Marines and Langley Eustis, from what my interviews and other people have said, those are the teams for the most part to beat. But so what y'all telling me is that the 5 rank in 4 divisions, which means they put y'all in 16 to 20 in this league, is disrespectful. That's what I'm hearing.
No,
Yeah,
you know what?
I guess.
I won't say it's not disrespectful because that's how the
Okay.
rankings work. We qualified for this tournament because we won the Joby Hall tournament.
Okay.
With
So
7.
with 8, and that's the tournament that's in San Antonio. The military team that wins that tournament automatically qualifies for national.
Okay.
So just to give a quick backstory of
Okay.
Fort Campbell. Fort Campbell hasn't had prior to me and Coach AJ getting here, Fort Campbell didn't have a team for almost 14 years.
Okay. I was
They
going to ask
said
that. I was going to ask that
so
question. But
they
go
didn't
ahead.
have a team. So I originally went to Fort Campbell as a basketball player. So I just came off the NBA finals with Fort Sam Houston. And so I told my kids, hey, I'm done. I won everything military level. I'm good. I can hang it up. But then I started getting that itch again. So I called Coach Little, who's our Army coach, and I was like, well, you know anybody in Georgia, Carolina? I don't mind. I'm a hooper, so you just tell me I would travel. I don't mind. He was like, well, Coach AJ from Fort Bliss, he says to Fort Campbell. So I called Coach. I'm like, Coach, look, I'm older now. Look, 35, 36, 35. I don't mind coming off the bench, play about 10 minutes and a half. I can bring something to a team. He's like, okay, yeah, show up to practice. Oh, I'm hyped now. I think I'm going to practice. I'm like, hyped. He's there. Meet me at the gym Saturday morning. I'm hyped. We got the shoes. I'm ready. Went to sleep early. So I got to prove myself. I get to the gym. He's walking me around. So back then, at 4 years ago at Fort Campbell, we had our own office. We had like a media room where we can watch film. He's walking me around the gym, introducing me to everybody. I'm like, oh yeah, that's how you treat. That's how you treat somebody my type of playing resume. He's
Uh-huh.
introducing me as the head coach. I'm like, wait, what? So I pulled this out. I said, what do you mean? He's like, I'm about to deploy in 2 weeks. I'm like, bro, come on. So it was the 35-year-old me learning to kind of separate being a player and then coaching. So our first year, man, we went down to the Jacksonville tournament. Nobody knows Fort Campbell. We're down 20-something at halftime, 28. We come back and win by 20. We're on the map. Fort Stewart. Now everybody's, oh, wow, who is this team? So we ended up making it to like the Elite Eight, whatever, the final 8 teams there. And then we started feeling ourselves too much. We actually went into the conference finals, like, 6-10. We lost like our last 10 games. It was horrible. It was horrible. We get to the conference tournament, we smack everybody. First year team smack everybody, win the conference tournament. We go to the NBA finals. And then we get to the NBA finals. We end up losing from going to the quarterfinals on a point differential.
Mm.
So we actually beat a team, but because we were up like 20 something, they got the ball like 3 seconds and shot the ball from like half court and made it. And we lose by 1 point. And it's funny because the team that's won the NBA finals and the Western Conference is Luke. we was like cheering for Luke to beat the team we needed him to beat, but we forgot about the point differential. I never forget, we was back there cheering for him. Y'all need Gatorade the whole nine. We lost off of 1 point differential. Then the second year, we go into it. Now the whole summer, we're like a college team. We're training during the summer. We show up
Uh-huh.
the gym at 5 in the morning. Oh, we're about
Mhm.
to prove why we're the best team military back. We go 15-1 on the year. Then COVID happened. Matter of fact, we were a weekend from we're on the way to Nebraska, and they called and told us the games got canceled because of COVID. So then, fast forward to this season, like I said, I played more games this season than some of the players on the team. Let's put it that way. That's what type of season it's been.
Mm.
I have physically played more games and probably more minutes than some of the players on this team, which is scary because, like they said, we have made it to the Elite Eight. We have made it to a Final Four. We won the Joby Hall. There's never should be a reason why I put on a uniform, but due to the up tempo of Fort Campbell, is what we were stuck with. It's like you said, it's one of the, I'm very looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having the full team at these tournaments. A lot of teams are, oh, that's just Fort Campbell. Looking at the record, when we're fully loaded, we're a problem. Like they say, I'll be honest though, we're the Detroit. I would say we're the Detroit Bad Boys of military basketball.
Mm. Okay.
Watch the game. We're the Detroit Bad Boys of military basketball. We're gonna muddy the game up. We're gonna play defense. If you know me as a player, I was always defensive minded, and I think 1 through 12 for this tournament, all of them have my mindset. We're gonna play defense first. We're gonna sit down on defense, and in today's game, the people don't like that. They don't like to be touched, and we're gonna touch you. One thing I can guarantee you, it's gonna be a physical game, no matter who we play. Uh, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, we coming in as a 5 seed, so we anywhere like I said from 16 to 20. I got a good group of young men. I think we're gonna make some noise down there this weekend. I don't talk
So
much when it comes down to wins and losses. I just say, hey, we'll see when the ball gets. We'll see when the tournament starts. You'll see.
so
Like I say, I don't do much bragging.
I talk.
in which I was about to bring up and ask, like, what is the ceiling for now that y'all have presumably got y'all squad back together? What is the ceiling? Of course, I'm very sure I'm going to hear championship, especially that's like Drew said. You know, what I'm saying 3 championships. We're not no slouch. You know, what I'm saying put some respect on our name. Uh, so. Is that basically realistically? I'm a realistic individual. So realistically, is that chemistry there back for y'all? Whereas like it's going to be turned on, like you say, defensive mindset. I believe defense wins ball games across the spectrum. But so is that what the ceiling that we have currently is that basically y'all put a immaculate team in a 5 seed. Now you want to have problems. Is that the rhetoric?
Oh, well, first
If
off,
they're locked in,
Okay.
let me say that because but like the past 2 weeks and just they're a weird team in the sense that they don't I don't think they communicate enough outside of basketball. But these past 2 weeks in the group
Mm,
chat and outside of basketball, it's been something different. Like somebody posted something in the group chat and it led to a whole conversation. I was like, okay, I think yeah, they finally getting it. They finally starting to fill each other out. And we have I think we're a better offensive team than we've been in the past few years also. Um, but like I said, I don't do much in reference to the stealing. I don't really get into all that. I would say this: you better bring your hard hat. We're gonna play defense. Our chemistry starts on defense. Most people's chemistry come from the offensive end. Ours start on the defensive end of the court. We're locked in defensively, and we adding a key piece back. He couldn't play because of some rules, which there's rules everywhere you play. But now he can play in this tournament. Oh man, he's fully eligible to play. Man, defensively we're long. Like I said, Andrew's 6'6" and he plays 3. And military basketball,
mm,
6'6" playing the 3, that's tough.
Mm.
yeah.
And if Quan acts right, I always try to float Quan over to the 4, but we got to play him at the 5 because we lost one of our centers. But so we're gonna be okay. Then we're gonna be okay.
Andrew, you were about to
It's
say something?
yeah.
They gonna talk for them. Trust me, they got a little swagger to them.
No, I mean to start out, it was just because I was saying at first I didn't know our record was number 5.
Mm-hmm.
So you see how like we over here talking like we just scraping in, and you know what I'm saying, like we got a whole nother like what 2-3 seeds below us. Is it 8 seeds that made it?
No, it's just 5 seeds. It's 420
Oh, it's
teams.
just five.
So,
Okay,
so
okay,
that means
okay.
y'all one of the four. One y'all they have y'all locked in as one of the, like we said, 20 in a 20-man league. Y'all number 16 through 20 at this point,
Yeah,
based on
okay.
record. He said.
Yeah. So what I was saying, like, we made it to this tournament at number 5, and we talking like we was just the last team that scraped in and all that type of stuff. So one that shows how like we are as a team because I'm telling you, like, we take one loss and we take it so to heart. Like everybody on the team just hate losing. That's our number
Yeah.
one. Like I think that's what we play with the most because we come out to these tournaments and we go out there and don't nobody want to show up to lose because we got time away from our families. This is like weekend time, so it's time that we off from our job at work and all this other stuff when we out here playing basketball. Cause it just shows how much we love the sport. And also, yeah, I just think as a winning team, I've been in the gym every day. We had folks who, we got folks who we show up with, and then everybody just. Well, I think the biggest thing is what we talked about last night. We just ready to play now. Like we've been talking about it all year. We've been talking about it for so long, and now we just go and we go in a group and we'll just be like, man, I'm ready for this weekend. Okay.
Yeah, like Heather just said, I think we're ready to like, get there and play. Like most of us are all on like the same flight. We all like we're locked in and like ready to go. Like most of us, well, everybody's been in the gym. We can't like. There's been times where we all can't get in at the same time because of work and stuff like that. But we all get in at some point in time throughout the like day, and we hear like the like noises of like people talking about us and things like that, and what they're saying about this tournament and how like we're supposed to be getting sit home like first day. Like we don't talk about it. Like we don't express it. We hear it, but we don't react to it. We just like, okay, cool. Like just give us something else to like. We'll show y'all this, or we'll show y'all that. We'll show y'all how we're gonna play. And how coach is saying, like for us, defense is huge. Like my guys know, like without a doubt, they can pressure up on like defense because if they get blown past, I got them. Like they don't have to worry about that at all. And I know like if a guard switches, where I switch on a guard, if I get blown past, they're there. Like, but we don't lack off. Like we're not scared of nobody at all. We don't. I think our offense start on our like defense, and we have guys on our team who can score 20 plus each like every day. But we don't look. We're not a selfish team. Like we'll feed like hot hand. Like for me, example, I don't look to score the ball. I like you can ask coach. I don't ask him to like draw plays for me. I told him from like the jump, I would get my points, but my main rebounds, like my main things is getting 10 and 10 on rebounds and blocks. Like
Mm-hmm.
points will come. Like that's fine. I don't really care about scoring. I'll get my points off of offensive like rebounds stuff like I look to get my teammates open. And so for the teams that like to double, when they try to double me, I love it. I love when teams like try to double because then you're leaving my like shooters open. So like I kick it out and they're paying for it. So
Okay, okay. So I hear you, a lady, a woman of faith. So of course, speaking of existence, drill sergeant of the year, Adams. Do they sound like they have? Do they sound like they have that Mamba mentality?
Yeah, they sound like they have it. I mean, it starts on the top, and Coach Parker is going to make sure he instills that in him. He's already done it. He did it with us. So when your coaches have that same passion, and especially when it's going to trickle down. So once they do that, the point guard, who's also the coach on the floor, who's also the facilitator, know who the point guard is, but he accepts that, and then he can push that out to the rest of the team. Everybody grabs onto it. But it sounds like they have this. It sounds like they are starting to get that cohesion as a team, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's the biggest part. And like we said, it takes just one person, and it sounds like Coach Parker is doing that. It takes that one person to go ahead and light a flame for everybody else. So, I mean, I would love to watch the game. I'm probably gonna have to do it online, but I would love to watch this. They look like they have a lot of motivation from all the trash talking. As players,
Yeah,
we always use that.
say that.
Yeah, go ahead,
Say
keep
that.
back. That's
Yeah,
motivation.
talk that. Yeah,
That,
talk that ish. So
yeah,
of course, she brings up a good point. So I ask y'all like, what has like Coach Parker especially said that y'all all are humble individuals in which y'all are gonna he's gonna have to talk for y'all, speak on y'all. So what do y'all speak on in reference to Coach Parker? You know what I'm saying? So what has he instilled in y'all, like she was just talking about? What has he basically brought to the game, or what has he been done that helped y'all better in y'all game and y'all walk in in the military basketball or in just life in general?
What about
Well,
you?
me and Coach, we close like with basketball, and we met through basketball and stuff like that. But me and Coach, we also like we talk off the court about stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and his family's like become my family. Like I'm around his son and his daughters and stuff like that outside of basketball and stuff. That's just the relationship that we've grown and we've had over the years. I met Coach back when basketball first started here at Fort Campbell, and it just started from there. And as a man, because I met him, I think I was 22 or 21 years old, and now I'm 25, and he's been more of a mentor, and helped me, guided me through stuff also that's outside of basketball,
Mm-hmm.
but as well as basketball. We'll go, and it'll be Saturday morning, and we'll be talking, and we'll be like, all right, you try and get in the gym, and we'll go at early Saturday mornings or early throughout the weeks. It was times when Coach used to ride up to Fort Campbell when he lived in Nashville, which is an hour drive. He would ride up there before work, and then we would work out, put up a whole bunch of shots, do a bunch of strength and conditioning stuff, and then he would shower in the gym and then leave and go back to work in Nashville from there that
Mm-hmm.
morning. Like we would do this like 3-4 times a week and stuff like that. And when we have leave times, or it's a 4 day, he always asking us who getting in the gym. There's been times where coaches paid for players to come to tournaments and stuff like that. So as far as we talking about Coach as a coach, like, yeah, he's phenomenal. But you talking about Coach
The
outside of the
man,
court,
yeah, the man.
like he truly, he's been that guy. And it's not just for me; it's been for everybody. He's opened up his home to everybody, and he'll talk to us and talk to us about money, talk to us about, relationships with family, talk to us about things that he struggled with himself, and how basketball has opened up so many doors for him. And he tries to give us the same opportunities. So coach is, you know, coach really the best coach I've ever had. And that
Yeah.
just me speaking.
So for me, I know like as Angel was saying, like when I first got to the military, like I didn't know anything about the army, nothing about the army at all, nothing about military basketball. He kind of broke all of that down for me, and not only like what it could do for me in the military, what it could do for like outside like military. And I've talked to coach like off basketball stuff about like family stuff, and if I've had like financial problems, I could like talk to him and he'll give me like advice on how to handle things better and like a better way to not only
Mm-hmm.
make me like a better player, but like a better man, like off the court type stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
if there's ever anything like if one of our teammates is ever in need, he doesn't hesitate to like come like as Andrew was saying, he was when last season, even this season, he'll drive down an hour for practice on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning when he could be at home with his kids and family just to like help us get better. Or during the week, we would go to a gym off post. We'll get there at 5 o'clock. So he's waking up 3:30, like 3:30 to get there at 5, driving like an hour to get there, and then driving an hour back to go back home to go to work. Like there's a lot that he does behind the scenes that I don't think a lot of people like realizes.
Mm.
Yeah, he's definitely. Look, I opened up a can of worms right now, uh, but yeah, he's definitely a good man, and it's a lot that I could say about him. But it's funny because when he came to all army camp, a lot of people didn't know too much about him, and but as soon as he hit the floor, it was like, okay, man, this man knows his stuff. I mean, he had a different playbooks, and he's sitting there talking to us, mentoring us, and I believe we were the first female group of players that he coached. So it was good to hear from him of like adjusting because he worked with men. So to see him adjust to women and listening to us saying like, hey, this is what we appreciate from a coach and this is what we respect from a coach. And he literally was like, okay, he comprehended it and then executed. Like there was times we would catch cramps. He bought these hydration packs, had food for us, and just sat there and talked. I do respect him as a man because there was a time him and I didn't agree on something. We bumped heads. I'm not going to go in detail with it, but we bumped heads. But him as a man, he called me downstairs and we talked right there in the lobby. Didn't matter who was around. Him and I had that conversation, and we were able to squash the issue, figure out what happened, and then find a way to resolve it so that the team can go ahead and do what it needs to do. And I have a lot of respect for him for that, because most people would just walk away and be like, it's my truth and this and that and the third. But he wanted to hear how we can resolve it and make everything better. So from there, we always had like a great relationship, but I had so much respect in that moment because he didn't let his pride get in the way. He was like, hey, listen, I own up to whatever it is. I owned up to my part, and we were able to move on and still have this great relationship. So yeah, like his family is my family, and it's just what everybody said. He's just a good man.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. So, of course, as an individual, not even as a coach, as an individual, those are great things in which you want to hear. Just additionally, as he spoke on y'all, in every aspect. So, of course, I hope that everyone that's watching and listening that they have or they are a coach in someone's life or have a coach, saying someone of similar character that's in their lives of what you can speak upon, because saying everyone needs that. Saying we're all service members, considered leaders in our own right, regardless of what the level is. So definitely, I could definitely agree, get to all that sentiment. So what do y'all have, like, what's the next step, or what's the next level for y'all? What do y'all have going on, whether it be military, basketball, life, careers? What's the next things in which y'all have going on, or in which y'all are getting into for the most part?
All right, I'm gonna jump in here because I got a meeting in like 5 minutes. So it's probably my last one,
Okay.
but I'm hoping to play my last year. We actually won the military. It was in Colorado, so the NBA in Colorado. Coach actually came to that one. We won that one last year.
I knew he was gonna put up the two. I was looking for it.
We're trying to, I think, repeat that. So,
Uh-huh.
that would be nice to do. I would love to play in Rutgers Park. That's always been one of my dreams, to play out there with some of the greatest players to ever walk out of there. And let's see, just get back into coaching. I miss coaching. I miss working with the kids as far as more on an elite level, like as far as collegiate. Um, Looking to see what I can do on that aspect, but and then also just help out in the community. I want to bring back, the free clinics and camps and all of that. So I'm actually just moved out to Baltimore, and that's an area that needs those type of resources. So my plan is to get something established out in Baltimore, Maryland, so those kids that are in need of those resources, to help them out and make this world a little bit better than what it is right now, because it's crazy. But that's my plans.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get in contact with you. I got something that you said. I'm gonna have to hit you up. I have to get with Coach to get your information.
Okay.
Uh, uh, so I'm feeling that the ruck, get to
Yeah.
the rucker. That
Right.
is a new one. I wouldn't. So what I'm saying. Before you get out of here, I want to ask y'all this because I know she's got to go. I want her to answer this question. So usually, someone who comes along is a couple of questions that we ask everybody because we want to get y'all aspect. So I ask you this, and all y'all gonna get a chance to answer, but she's about to bounce. So we'll get to her first. Who is your Mount Rushmore in basketball?
Oh, it's tough.
I'm gonna go turn my process and listen in real fast. I'll be right back.
All right, all right.
Ah, I gotta think on this.
It ain't that hard for me. LeBron James.
Mm-hmm. Four heads.
I don't know if I want to bring in a female.
That's your.
Maya
That's
Moore.
your. Go ahead. That's your free
Maya,
will.
Maya Moore.
My more.
My,
Okay.
mine was the bucket.
Three more. My
Like
more.
female. Um, Dwayne Wade,
Okay.
Magic Johnson,
Magic Johnson, Maya Moore, Dwayne Wade. One more.
and I gotta bring this back. I'm gonna go with Lisa Leslie.
Okay. Maya Moore, Lisa Leslie, Dwayne Wade, Magic Johnson. I wouldn't argue that. I can rock with that. He was. I did have Magic Johnson on mine. He was one of mine. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Andrew?
So we doing 3 names or
Four.
4?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So 1 LeBron, Allen Iverson, Akeem Olajuwon, and then my last one is my aunt. She's the one who like instilled basketball into me. She played at Vanderbilt University. Won a national championship, starting point guard her freshman year. She would have made it to the WNBA if she won. She just was too old by the time they finally came around with it. But yeah, like my aunt, she was really like that. Then she moved on to high school. She coached girls high school basketball, and she won numerous division and state championships. And she also pushed uh, I don't know. I can't tell you how many players, but she's had players at Baylor, LaSalle, South Carolina, University of Florida, a bunch of big Division One schools, and she's like as a player and as a coach, she was just her mind of the game of basketball is amazing.
Okay. Jaquan, coach, which one y'all finna go? Which one y'all finna run go through the gauntlet?
I'll
You
go.
doing the Mount Rushmore or what?
Yes,
Players
yeah.
or
Players, whichever one, just players.
okay.
I think I gotta say Braun. Braun is one. I want to throw MJ up there, but I don't think I really want to throw MJ up there.
Mm.
I think MJ's a great player. I've never seen him play, so I don't know. I see highlights, but it's different whenever you actually like we can physically watch LeBron play. Like, I watch LeBron and see how he plays. I think Shaq is one because I feel like Shaq changed. Shaq was a dominant force as a big. Like for me, I think it's fair to say that's like changed the game. Such as like I think Seth Curry has changed the game tremendously. Like people, I know like a lot of older people, like the older like generation, like hates it. Like how the game is like more 3-ball oriented now. But like, and I want to see maybe Magic Johnson.
Okay. Magic, Steph, Shaq. Okay.
And Bron.
All right. And LeBron. All right, coach.
Top what? 3, top 5 of all
Whichever.
time?
Just all time. Just for if you had a Mount Rushmore, who would you be putting on it in NBA all time? NBA. Who's your Mount Rushmore?
So I got to watch MJ. So we go NBA. Okay, I thought we was talking about basketball players in general.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, or which one, whatever one, because like Drew said, he get shouted out his aunt. Uh, Danita shouted out Leslie and Maya Moore. So in basketball, like you said.
So we'll go basketball to NBA. So my favorite player of all time, I always tell it, right, is my brother, right? One of my younger brothers. He coaches out in Dallas. He got the opportunity to coach some really good basketball players. He's just a great man. My brother Dominic Parker out there. Um, I always tell him when I name my top 5, even he's number 1 of all
Okay.
time. Speaks for itself. If anybody watching this, and I mentioned my brother's name, it's my younger brother too. So one of my favorite basketball players ever of all time, right? Of course, MJ, Magic. I'm going Tim Duncan, Shaq, Kevin Garnett. Check up. Let's play basketball. I got
Okay.
Magic, MJ. I'm a flex. I'm a flex KG to the 3. Gonna play Tim Duncan at the 4, and I'm going Shaq at the 5. We hoop.
The look on Jaquan's face, and he had that stank face for a second, like wow,
Who gonna
that's what
guard
we
Tim
doing.
Duncan from this era? Who gonna guard Tim Duncan?
Anybody.
You crazy?
Anybody.
Who? Who?
Anybody can guard Timmy. Timmy had good footwork. Don't get me wrong.
Man, you crazy?
But
Who guarded KG? Now KG don't have to worry about banging with them fours. You got a problem.
KG is
Better go
one of
back.
my favorite
You
players.
better go back and watch it. Watch KG. You better go watch
KG
that
is
Team
one of my favorite
USA
players.
one.
But
He was cooking everybody at Team
I
USA
personally
camp.
feel like Timmy's not surviving in this generation, really.
Who?
I don't think Timmy's. I think Giannis is killing Timmy. I think Joel is killing Timmy. I'm just
Joel who?
Embiid healthy.
Man, hang this call. When this call in? When are we done with this show? When this show ends, man?
Giannis, by far, Giannis is killing.
You get Giannis, but then we get Giannis, but then you brought up Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
Not saying he's not talented. He's not killing Tim Duncan, bro.
I think he's killing Timmy.
Man, I'm telling you, he paved the way for
You muted, Drew. You muted.
I think Joker killing Tim Duncan.
Right.
Ooh,
I think Joker's killing Timmy. I think
Joker can do everything Tim Duncan can do. Tim Duncan can't do everything Joker can do.
Oh,
Joker
my
got
word.
footwork just like him.
This is clearly in which we was just talking about, which Jaquan was just talking about, the difference and disparity in the old school and the new school. As you see, Coach is looking like, "Are y'all serious?" Now, so think about it. In my opinion, and Coach, tell me if you agree or disagree. Jokic is just Sabonis at a later time frame.
Yes.
Adrian Sabonis. That's what you got in the Joker.
And they have no idea who he was. And back then, someone Sabonis size, he wasn't allowed to do the things that Joker has the freedom to do now.
Yes,
but I think Sabonis paved the way for a player to be able to have that freedom that Joker had. Now he was tough, and they say his better years were overseas. We got him at a later time. Man, I left one off my list. One of my favorite players of all time, and if you know my game, Julius Erving, Dr. J.
He's getting killed in this era.
I quit, man.
Dr. J's getting killed in this era. The game is different. The game is so.
Trey, you know what's funny, right? They ask me this all the time at practice. They say, the team you played on at Fort Sam and at Lackland, who would have won between y'all team and us? I said, who beat y'all by 30? Easy. Easy. Like, easy. Like,
I think
easy.
if you get like your top 5 like NBA players from like back then as like a 5-on-5 versus like the top 5 from like that I would pick for this time, I think it wouldn't even be close. I think it'd be a domination.
You got it, Quan. You got it.
It's gonna come down though, and they're gonna try to play organized basketball, but that ain't working this today.
Yeah, y'all got it, man.
Wow, that's so.
I don't know anybody back then that's guarding Kevin Durant. Like,
I can guard you.
I'm not Kevin Durant. You can't guard me either.
And I'm definitely locking you up, Andrew. What are we talking about?
You can't guard Melo, Coach. I don't know.
Who? Y'all fucking.
So no one. So Jakar, what you're saying is no one from the previous era, let's say 90s, 80s, is guarding Kevin Durant in this era. Is what you're saying.
I think if you take that dream team that they had back then versus the Redeem team, with like Braun and them, they're losing.
They're losing bad.
I think Jordan and them are getting cooked. Like they are getting killed by them.
Man, I invited the wrong people on. Man.
They are getting cooked by them.
What? Like
they're not guarding Kobe.
Like hold up, bro.
They're
like
not guarding KD. They're not guarding Melo.
You're not guarding D-Wade.
So remember, let's sit up and take a second to pause for a second. So let's
tactical pause, please.
So think about this, right? Y'all, of course, we all know about the closed practice in which the Dream Team got cooked by the college team, right? That came in. Then when they brought it back, it was a murder. It was a massacre. So y'all don't think for a second that the Dream Team, the original Dream Team, is holding with
Dream Team.
with
all want that college team too.
They're getting killed. Like
who?
I personally don't think anybody from that era is guarding KD alone. Like nobody. I don't. Not too many players in the
Den-
league now can guard KD. Like
Dennis Rodman,
he's cooking. Coach, that's so disrespectful. He's cooking Dennis Rodman.
Scottie
And Dennis
Pippen,
can't score. Scotty's getting
Scottie
cooked
Pippen.
too.
That would be a good matchup, Scottie Pippen.
But then who's guarding
That would have
Bron?
been better than Dennis
Like
Rodman.
y'all, oh man, y'all
So
gotta
think
remember
about
they
who
had
guard on
two of
that
the
team.
baddest white boys in the NBA with Larry Bird and Chris Mullin. Like Chris Mullin's giving buckets.
Okay, Chris Mullin's getting cooked. He might score. He's getting cooked. And I don't know why people keep saying that Larry Bird is better than Kevin Durant. He getting cooked too. I don't know. Like who's guarding Kobe?
Him and Jordan gonna cancel each other out.
Okay, then who's guarding Bron?
Nobody.
Magic.
Hell,
Magic was a 6'8" forward. I mean guard. Come on.
Magic's not guarding Bron.
Who's guarding Dwayne Wade?
Todd Drexler.
He's getting cooked. Cooking Todd Drexler.
Scottie Pippen. We put Pippen on him.
So then who's guarding KD?
That's the problem.
Right, they have too many weapons. They have way too many weapons.
You still be living out Karl Malone. Like the only person in my opinion that should not have been on that
Hold on,
team
because
was
that would have been
Crystal
prime
Laettner.
Dwight too.
Yeah.
That was prime Dwight. Like nobody touching Dwight then.
You crazy, David Robinson.
Hello.
They're the same player. David Robinson and Dwight Howard almost the same player.
Okay,
I'm talking about Dwight with Orlando.
Who's guarding Melo? Who's guarding Carmelo?
Yeah.
No, Melo's the buck. Who?
But Melo can't guard a floorboard, so he gonna have to deal with Larry Bird. He can't guard a floorboard.
Bird can't guard Melo. He's giving him 30.
Okay, so they cancel each other out because Bird's about to go drop 50 on this game.
You still have
real.
still have KD as an X factor.
That's the X factor. You're right, Quan. I ain't gonna disagree with you. You got that one.
And they can't double anybody. Like they can't double anybody on that team.
Same thing. You can't double anybody on that team because David Robinson was a bucket.
We'll let him shoot the ball. Twos don't cancel out threes.
And then let's not forget, like in my opinion, David Robinson had more of a bag than what Dwight. Like Dwight was a prowess, a defensive prowess, but so was David. Like David was more skilled than that prime Dwight. I don't know.
David got cooked by Shaq too, so I don't know. That killed David.
Dwight came and took Shaq's career.
Y'all don't know. I'm just saying. I think
interesting.
I just think that team is cooking that original Dreams team. Like they don't even know on their bench who they messing with coming off the bench. Was it Chris Paul on that regime team too?
Yeah, he was too.
Yeah,
Trey, you know what's funny, man? Quan doesn't talk a lot. He knows basketball. I'm sitting on his phone like it's not the same Quan I know. He's a man of little words on the basketball court.
I just feel like that team is getting cooked easy.
And then we leaving out Stockton, Ewing,
cooked,
Barkley, Malone.
You naming all these big men.
Right, they're all getting cooked. They're guarding. They're
guarding people who are the same height as them, but more sound offensively. Like they're not staying in front of them.
But y'all are focused on offense, but at the same time, no one that you named outside Dwight Howard is coming down and going to guard David Robinson. And then here's the thing about Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing, if you're really a fan of basketball, he was really one of the first big men to really step out and hit that 15, 18 footer consistently.
Patrick Ewing is getting dunked on like Scottie Pippen did.
But who is drawing up play? Who is going to guard them? Y'all keep saying, well, they can't guard this, which rightfully so.
They're gonna play like they're gonna try to like draw up plays and run sets, and they're gonna be in their pockets. Like Kobe's trapping all that up. Bron is trapping all that up. It's not happening.
Who else playing defense on that team?
Chris Paul.
Oh, Magic?
He don't have to play Magic.
LeBron defense.
Chris Paul can guard John Stockton. We'll go big. We'll have Bron running the one.
I'm going back to work, man.
You crazy, Bron.
Right.
Bron's probably the best point guard in the league.
And we all in the same Airbnb this weekend. It's gonna be a good discussion over the space game.
They're getting cooked by everybody. Bron's I got Bron over Magic. I'll say Kobe and Jordan are canceling E to that, but nobody's going to
Carlos,
Melo.
so the redeem team: Carlos Boozer, Jason Kidd, LeBron James, Darren Williams, Michael Redd, Dwayne Wade, Kobe, Dwight, Chris Bosh,
Not
Tayshaun
anymore.
Prince, Chris Paul, and Carmelo Anthony.
Cooking them.
You like me, Trey. I'm about to go back to work.
I mean, like you said, it's a clear disparity in the different eras or whatever case like that. Just like because let's keep it real. Boston employed that bad boy mentality, like what they did to Jordan, and that's what Boston did to KD, and KD was
Man,
ineffective.
Hey, my
man.
man got double the whole series, and they let Kyrie play iso ball. He was too busy worried about when his next meal was like coming. So Bruce Brown was our second best player. That's a problem.
So of course tonight we have the case I hate Coach P. The Quan's brain is cooked right now.
Who?
He said his brain is cooked right now with all that. Uh, Additionally, tonight we got it's 2 games, so I want to know who y'all basically think is going to get the W's tonight. 2 games, of course. The first game, Milwaukee against Chicago, back in Milwaukee, and the second game, the Nuggets versus the Warriors in the Bay. Do both teams basically walk out gentleman sweep, or do we get
Yep,
an extension to a game 6?
they're both winning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We all in
Warriors,
agreement there.
the Warriors would have won the last game if Draymond didn't get fouled out.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that.
Giannis not gonna play.
Yeah, I was about to say Giannis. The Bucks is,
Yeah, he ain't playing with him.
and they missing their
Chris
point
Middleton.
guard.
The Bucks is missing Chris Middleton, and Grayson Allen's giving them 20 plus.
Yeah,
So
Grayson has been a problem, and then
I'm talking
this
about
Bobby Portis.
Levine is out too.
Bobby Portis is that guy. Don't pick on Bobby.
yeah, but they missing Lonzo.
Yep.
They missing Lonzo big.
He hasn't played this series. Yeah, that's a big loss for them.
Yeah,
He ain't played.
Caruso's out with Levine's out with protocol. Caruso's out concussion.
They lost.
Oh yeah, they done. Yeah, they done.
They might get beat by like 30.
Yeah, they done.
And the Warriors not. The Warriors are not playing.
Medea, Freddie Medea.
Oh man. So I asked y'all this question so we could get ready to get up out of here. I didn't get a chance to let y'all speak on it. What do y'all have? What's up next for you guys? Drew, Quan, Coach. What's the next thing that y'all got going? Whether it be individually, career wise, personal wise. What's the next things in which y'all got going? Which anyone that would know or see you could be like, oh yeah, I remember he was on First Formation. I heard he was doing this. Look at him now. So what's next?
So I'm gonna touch on this, and then I gotta go
Mm-hmm.
get back to Meps because they starting to come out the physical. In a perfect world, we're gonna finish up here with the National Military Tournament. Then of course got the Eastern Conference Finals, then the Military Basketball Finals in Colorado. That's another great event that Coach Myers and his front office staff is putting on. Uh, awesome event. That's gonna be a great weekend. The National Military Tournament, another great weekend. I kind of got on the show yesterday. I really don't know if you know, I don't talk a lot on social media, but had a lot to say yesterday about that tournament because if you was a basketball player, you went to the national tournament to earn your name.
Mm-hmm.
As a hooper, if you can play, you went to the Joby Hall and the national. This is before the military basketball final. Nationals been around for a minute. Nationals and then the conference tournament and Joby Hall. Joby Hall has definitely been around, but you went to those tournaments who were ran by the national committee to earn your name as a basketball player. You went there. If you either made a name for yourself or you might well stick to playing intramural sports, for lack of a better word. So in a perfect world, hopefully I get the opportunity to go back and coach at the all service level. But it's not up to me. You got to put an application as a coach. Not even, I don't care if it's a head coach or assistant coach. I do want to go back. I think we got unfinished business. I think COVID took us from repeating. I think the Army has the caliber of team that can win multiple championships. So I think COVID took that away from us at that level. Coaching high school right now, uh, like I said, so that's a good opportunity as I get ready to transition out the Army. Um, I hit 20 years in August, but I have accepted a position at a high school here in Nashville. Um, don't want to release the information yet until they do their press release, but I have accepted the head varsity assistant at a high school out here. So I'm really looking forward to that opportunity. We got a real great group of young men coming back. Looking forward to making some noise and here in Nashville, making a name for myself on the coaches team. Of course, I'm doing the travel ball or AAU ball, whatever you want to call it, with Team Tay, and NYB. Team Tay is the director is Dante Jones, the former draft pick, number 1 draft pick, I think in the '96 draft by the
Mm-hmm.
Celtics for the Knicks. Played down at Mississippi State. So it's a great opportunity, to have someone that's been there where a lot of these players trying to go and be able to pick his brain on what it took for him to get there. He's a great coach also. Then of course you got NYBA that's ran by David Keary and Dante Jones. David's just a great basketball mind. Uh, Definitely one day I'd love to put you in contact with him on one of these sports shows, both of them. But more importantly, man, just continue to leave my mark, man. I always tell anybody, someone took care of me when I was younger, kept me out the
Uh-huh.
way when we was younger. So
Uh-huh.
just continue to give back, man, because I'm smart enough to understand, it's not about me. I'm just a vessel, and God just using me the best way He can. Hopefully, I don't get in trouble for talking God on your show,
Oh no, you
but
good.
yeah, God just using me the best way He can to be a vessel and give back to this generation. Leave my mark, man. Leave it better than I found it.
Okay. In matter of fact, I'll be out in Nashville in December, as that's another fraternity thing. So yeah, Washington DC in September, and December will be in Nashville. So
Yes,
uh
sir. I
so
appreciate it. Y'all make sure y'all get in the gym tonight, Jim. We got work to do.
all right, Andrew, Jaquan, what's up next for you guys?
Um, Basketball wise, for one, I'm looking forward to these tournaments that are coming up, and hopefully playing all Army and making it for that team. Off court wise, I'm actually in the process of trying to start a suicide awareness like program.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's in the works for me and my family is trying to do. Um, that's about it though. That's about it for us.
Okay. Andrew,
Um, well, off court wise, I just had a baby girl. I have a brand new daughter,
congrats.
so I'm getting acquainted to that life. But
Mm-hmm.
as far as basketball, I want to like I want to be able to get paid to play basketball. I want basketball to be able to take care of my family and
Okay.
stuff like that. So possibly moving to see, my contract ends next year, November. So seeing maybe some overseas or, you know, playing with a team where I'm playing and getting paid to play is I can support my lifestyle with playing basketball.
Mm. Have you been like reaching out or putting out fillers or anything like that, or are you just kind of waiting to see what after your service is over yet, and then bang that, and then go take a concerted effort in that?
Oh yeah, I've been, in contact a little bit. It's people who tell me about, or it's recruits who tell me about camps, basically where you go and you play, sit in front of coaches, and if they like you, then they'll pull you, if, stuff like that. But also working with Coach P, because I really love the sport and I really love the game of basketball. And before I left for deployment, I think I was playing at a very, very high level.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm trying to get better than that. I feel like I'm back to it and stuff, but I feel like I'm trying to get better than what I was before I left. So, you know, all of that.
Okay, okay. I had to sit up and hit you up and see, it might be some opportunities or something like that from people I could take like that. Especially, of course, there's teams here in the U.S. That of course they're paying, but I don't know if they're paying as much as what the teams in the overseas with, but there's opportunities domestically as well. So I have to shoot you some of that information.
Oh yeah.
But indeed, you know what I'm saying? So of course y'all be able to catch if y'all in again, if you're in the San Antonio area, military basketball, national military basketball tournament going on. You can check out the Screaming Eagles, check out Andrew and Jaquan that they'll be there representing for Fort Campbell. As we already know, Fort Hood is going to be Fort or Central Texas basketball is going to be there. Langley Uses is going to be there. Fort Polk is going to be there, so it's going to be a bunch of teams. And then additionally, they playing for the Eastern Conference in the NBA Military Basketball Association, in which they'll be playing in Phoenix City, Alabama, on what's that the 20 what's that May Memorial Day weekend, right? Memorial Day weekend, 29th and 30th. And then of course, everything goes well, be in Denver, Colorado for the Military Basketball Association's finals, in which it all be on the line. All the conversation, all the talking, game recognized game starts to do the talking, and you'll be able to catch these guys there. Be sure to be looking out for them. Of course, go to those social media sites and everything, so you can catch them live as they streaming. A lot of them should be streaming. You'll be able to talk. Unfortunately, I won't be there for the nationals, but I will. I hope to be in the building for the actual finals for the NBA. So of course, that's our show for today. Greatly appreciate y'all rocking with us. Greatly appreciate Jaquan coming on, Andrew coming on. We look forward to probably hearing from them more. We're going to be looking to see. So, of course, win or lose, I'll probably be hitting up, be like, hey, what, you know what I'm saying? So, what happened? In any case, I greatly appreciate y'all gentlemen coming on with us today. Any last words before we get ready to get off here?
No, I just appreciate you having us, man. It's been good coming on here talking to you. Appreciate
Yeah,
Mr.
Yes,
just
sir.
Poster.
appreciate the opportunity to talk to you and get our names out there.
Yes, sir. No problem. No problem. I'll have to find out when Fort Poe go down. Uh, how everything. I hope we could. But we'll see. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. Greatly appreciate y'all. Y'all be, you know what I'm saying? Y'all high speeds get ready to fall out. As I see you tomorrow, y'all know what it is. First formation every Monday through Friday, 09, usually to 11 o'clock. Bishop, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man. I know he's out on vacationing. Look forward to seeing him back here, but we'll be able to see y'all. I see y'all tomorrow, as I believe we will be having Coach Uriah Hunter of the Central Texas basketball team out there in or around the Fort Hood area. Him and a couple of his people should be on another great show. What you talk about, I look forward to seeing y'all then. At this time, go ahead, fall out. Enjoy your day.